Yo, in today's video, we'll be looking at creepy and bizarre TikToks that will make you question your own reality.
You mean to tell me that there is a tree out in the middle of a desert that's over 400 years old, and it even baffles scientists because no one knows where the water source is? So this is the tree of life, and it's in the Middle East in Bahrain. And I really gotta thank my son for this one, because he got stationed out in Bahrain, and one day I was like, so what's there to do out there? And he was like, I don't know, I might go see the tree of life one day. And I'm like, the tree of life? He's like, yeah, it's this tree out in the middle of the desert, and no one knows how it's surviving. Some people believe that this tree could be the original point of the Garden of Eden, and the water source is mysterious. But archaeologists have dated the tree back to over 400 years old. 4.2. Who's gonna rate a tree less than a 5? Come on, somebody's going straight to hell. Kidding. So apparently it sits on one of the higher points out in the desert, and yeah, it's even got its own little dirt road to tree of life. Isn't that cool? There's a lot of different theories on how this tree gets its water. Some think that it could get it from the sea breeze from the Persian Gulf. Others believe that the trees learn to extract moisture from the grains of sand. Either way, people are astonished with the fact that there is so little rainfall and no freshwater sources in the region, and the tree is standing tall and green like heaven. So my son had sent pictures of the view from his apartment, and his little brother, who is 9, asked if he was living on the moon.
I wonder what's underneath the desert over there. Like, is there water underneath there? Whoever's seen the movie Dune.
They just landed at Denver Airport, and they started to disembark the plane, emptied half the plane out, and apparently the airport and plane went on lockdown. So a half-empty plane, they stopped, shut the doors, and my brother's currently locked in the plane with his 6-year-old daughter and whoever else hadn't already disembarked. They're not letting them off. Apparently the airport is on lockdown. Does anyone know why this would happen, or what's going on, or what would lead to this kind of like mid-disembarkation lockdown?
I'd be spooked out if I was on that plane.
Next time you go to your doctor's office, make sure you ask him this question. Hey doctor, can you please test my fasting insulin? Now this conversation is going to go one of two ways. It's going to say, no, you don't need it. It's okay. Lipid panel will be okay, or your hormone panel, your metabolic panel will be okay. You don't need fasting insulin. Which, if they say that, question them. Well, why not? Or he'll say, fine, whatever, it's going to cost you more money, blah, 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 blah. But then they may not even talk to you about the results. Why is it so important for you to understand your insulin? Because you can be insulin resistant. You can have high fasting insulin and not have it impact your metabolic panel, not have it impact your lipid panel. So you can have all these symptoms that won't show up in your lab work. It won't show up in your cholesterol. It won't show up in your blood pressure. It won't show up in your glucose. It won't show up in your A1C. It won't show up in your liver enzymes. It won't show up in a lot of the places where eventually, had you tested your insulin, it will impact. So if you don't know the symptoms of insulin resistance, make sure you check out this video, and make sure to ask your doctor about fasting insulin or insulin resistance, because it could save your life.
I need a farmer to answer this question for me. Why is everything getting contaminated with listeria? Okay. Boar's Head, just recall, they upped the number of pounds that they're recalling their deli meat to 7 million pounds of deli meat for listeria contamination, which is literally taking the lives of people, right?
Yeah, no ham sandwiches, no turkey sandwiches over here today. Nope, y'all better put something else on that bread.
Right, so that's a problem. Then I just seen that Aldi and Kroger has issued a huge recall for their produce, their dips, their prepackaged crap. I don't know, but for listeria again. Earlier in the year, some company had to recall all of their sour cream, milk, cheese products for what? Take a guess. Listeria. Why listeria? Is it because people are cutting corners or something with I don't know how that is, what the connection is there, But why is listeria such a problem right now? Like, everything is getting recalled for listeria, and if it hasn't gotten recalled yet, it's finna. So some farmer explain to me what's going on with listeria.
Yeah, what's going on with listeria? Because this ain't cool.
See, I didn't try to tell people over a year ago, and I got them posted, so I keep the receipts about what was going to happen. Lo and behold, China was issued a warning shot as the United States sinks a 820-foot ship with stealth explosives. But y'all think it's just minor, right? Oh no, it's just beginning, family. And like I said, y'all better get ready. I'm ready. I hope you is. Let's get into the article. It says the United States military sent a warning shot to the decommissioned naval ship. Say the ship was active from 1976 to 2009, weighing 39,000 tons. So, yeah, clearly it was aimed at China. They're calling it an exercise, right? I hope y'all been exercising your plan for when shit hits the fan. Don't let that go over your head. Because on the flip side, according to this article and many other articles, China has repositioned some of their ships in U.S. ally territory and close to our own shores. So yeah, are you ready, fam? Leave in the comments below. Peace and one love.
Yo, how crazy is this? As far as you can see, just rocks.
Dude, I wonder how many layers of rock this is.
Dude, it's insane.
Not even the trees have grown through.
That's what I'm saying. Like, just
You know, that is interesting. Like, where did all the rock come from? It doesn't just show up there randomly. And I had a question from my cousin recently because he does a lot of hiking. And he went up on the top of some mountain, and it was just like a bunch of broken rock. So I asked him, how do you think that rock got there? He didn't have an answer. He's like, yo, I really don't know how it got here. It's just here, though, and there's so much of it, and it looks like it's broken. So if y'all got any answers for that, how does rock just randomly appear in certain places? How did it originally get there? Or what was there before?
Okay, breaking news right now. Look for Joe Biden's account here on TikTok. Just wait a second, though. But I want you to check it out. Everything's getting scrubbed. Go to Twitter. He used that one the most, like, personally, supposedly. It's scrubbed. Everything is getting scrubbed. All the videos, all the interviews and everything. What is happening? There's a lot of weird things happening. He's still the president. You know, it's kind of like this campaign has been so weird. It almost feels like Kamala's taking over already, right? And so what do you guys think is really happening? Let me know in the comments and follow me because I don't waste your time.
Yeah, it is kind of weird, honestly.
I would advise all that's watching here in this blog here, please go and look up Dubai with the pooping thing. Okay, right here on TikTok. I want you to look at that. We're being taken over. Dubai's dictatorship. It's not China. No. They small fry. Russia small fry. Dubai. You don't want Dubai's dictatorship. You don't. Look at Egypt that they've been giving you in script and movies, and I want you to look at Dubai. Look at a video that's posted on how they lure all the poor in to build their nation. The poor build Dubai. Everything there is artificial. Built that whole damn place, and then they take their passport. They can't leave. Don't that seem like?
What's going on with the Dubai stuff? I gotta look into that, man. I ain't trying to see no Dubai dictatorship, but that does make me question things. We all focused on Russia, China. Ain't nobody thought about Dubai, one of the most richest places in the world. Oh, let me read this. Breaking. The U.S. is facing a recession. A war between Israel and Iran will burst the bubble inflated by printing dollars without cover. Iran is doing massive damage just by waiting. Market sell-off. We have never been down 1,000 points ever. Not even intraday on the NASDAQ.
My camera started malfunctioning. I can't make this shit up. And there's fucking dogs barking at me here in the middle of nowhere, guys. Yo, that shit is lighting up the fucking sky, guys. Look at it over there. Yo, it's the craziest shit I've ever seen, guys. Let's get in the car.
What was that?
I'm going to show you guys the labs of a 29-year-old female who's been dealing with constipation, depression, hot flashes, sleep issues. She can't focus during the day because her energy is so low. She has low libido, and she told me that she feels like she was being gaslit by the doctors. She has some of the worst testing that I've seen in some time. Check out what we found. So on her stool test, she showed up with parasites, potentially pathogenic bacteria and yeast, very poor ability to detox out of her gut, and more overgrowth of bacteria. And then we ran an adrenal panel on her, and as you guys can see, her free cortisol is through the roof. She's extremely high in the morning when she wakes up. She crashes in the afternoon, and then it spikes again in the morning. This is why she's having trouble sleeping. And the last test that we checked was a mold test, and she showed up with 3 different toxic molds through the roof. This is going to be causing some significant issues in her body, and we need to figure out where the actual source of the mold is coming from. So the first thing that we have to do is get rid of those parasites. We are going to use anti-parasitic herbs to do so. We're also going to have her check her home and her place of work for the mold and get her some anti-stress herbs for all of that high cortisol.
What's this? Wait, Barack Obama's hands? Yeah. Whoa. Hold on. Y'all see that? Look at his hands. And then look at his face. That's wild. What's this? A beam in the sky? Oh, nah. What is this? Wrong kind of fireworks you want to see.
نفلا بعد نفلا بعد نفلا
Something's going down right now with the earthquakes. Hold on. Three-point for Chicago. Multiple three-pointers, Oklahoma. Hold on to your asses.
It's a lot of earthquakes. Dang. Whoa. Look at the other side of things. Shout out to Africa.
Yo, can somebody explain to me what the hell is that? Where is it?
Oh, there we go.
What is that, yo? That thing is not moving.
That mug just sitting there, coasting, floating.
That looks like a flying saucer. What is that? The thing is just not moving at all in the sky. Come closer, you alien.
What if you really came closer too?
Aliens live in the water. Aliens live in the water.
Mine's somewhere out there.
And they have these things where in the water, they put nanotechnology in your water and your food, so they press a button and your stomach
I know a
starts
smoke
burning.
shop that sells all the
Yes,
flavors.
they do
You
weird,
guys
they
need
have
it.
weird technology. I'm trying to expose everything right now. They do weird technology. All the food that you're eating right now, they put little technology in there. So when they want to get you feeling sick, like if you really don't like feeling sick, they can press a button and feel nausea. If they don't, they have nanotechnology. All the aliens are in the water. They're actually getting ready to come out with everything. It's fucking insane.
Truth.
We're in the
Facts.
end times right now. I'm not even kidding, guys. Get right with Jesus. I'm not kidding. I promise you guys, I wouldn't lie. I'm not a weirdo. I'm safe. I'm not.
Who believes Ryan? I believe Ryan. I think they're in the water too. And I believe the whole nanoparticle thing that he was saying. Isn't it crazy? Like, I think it was Coca-Cola signed a multi-million-dollar, maybe even billion-dollar deal with Microsoft. Microsoft, out of all people. Who owns a lot of the farmland? Microsoft. Maybe not Microsoft, but under Bill Gates in some way, form, or fashion. But under Bill Gates, basically. So what's really going on with our food and with our water?
This thing keeps flying around our neighborhood. Look at this thing. What? Why is it so low? Bro! What are you doing?
For real, what's going on?
Why is it flying so low? And there it goes. Why are you so close? Does anybody know why they would do this?
Nah, I don't have an answer for you, Johnny.
Everything's here is so chaotic, man. Anyways, have you seen Chaotic?
Animals are way more in tune with nature and with spirituality than us.
Good morning, Michael. Yeah, the US bolstering air defenses in and around Israel, sending additional cruisers, destroyers and another squadron of fighter jets to this region after Iran promised to severely punish Israel for those 2 assassinations in Tehran and Beirut last week. President Biden announcing those new defensive measures for Israel on the phone to Prime Minister Netanyahu over the weekend, with the president calling their phone call very direct, saying the killing of the leader of Hamas in the Iranian capital had, quote, not helped the chances of getting a ceasefire in Gaza. A former Israeli general telling me he thinks Iran and Hezbollah will attempt a more decisive attack than that mass barrage of Iranian drones and missiles fired at Israel in April. The US rallying allies. President Biden expected to talk this morning with King Abdullah of Jordan and then gather his security team in the Situation Room this afternoon.
So we need to find a way to make sure that the assistance that would go through Rafah can get through safely. But we do strongly. An agreement on a ceasefire and hostages, a critical partner as well in trying to get humanitarian assistance into people in Gaza who need it. I can't comment on the details of the negotiations. The bottom line, though, is that
as I was saying, the People's Republic of China.
He is a war criminal. The blood of 40,000 people is on his hands.
know, these officials, these people in the higher ups, they do not care about the masses at the end of the day. You know, they'll drop a bomb real quick. They don't care who's gone, who's there. And why is the White House spokesman wearing an Israeli dog tag? I don't know. That's a really good question. But I think we know the answer. I think the answer is that Israel is the United States. And the United States is Israel. It's pretty obvious to me. What happened here? Riot? Maybe rioting like in the UK and stuff. I can see that. Yo, why do lights look like that? Like a spider web or something.
Wow. Right around the time that Yellowstone decided to squirt all over her guests, an alert level was raised at Hawaii's Kilauea volcano due to rapidly evolving situation. And in case you haven't heard what this rapidly evolving situation is, I want to thank Paris and Cartier for making it a point of tagging me in a video describing that within the last 24 hours, there's been over 200 earthquakes in Hawaii. That's right, 200 plus earthquakes in Hawaii. So if that doesn't make you think, if that doesn't make you wonder what the hell is going on with Mother Earth, then you're lost. You are. You really, really are. 2024 is getting freaking crazy.
¿Alguien me puede explicar qué carajo es eso? ¿Qué puñeta es ese cabrón es Batman? Mira. Cabrón, si él abre las manos, este es para el carajo. Ese cabrón sale en ala. No, vete para el carajo, cabrón, no te creo. No te, ¿qué nueva bichería es esta?
So is that a person just like standing on the ledge? A giant or something? I don't know what that is.
It's full of stars.
I'm saying I'm still out here untouched, so nothing really popping. But yeah, man, I'm getting a lot of crazy DMs. The DMs have been a war zone lately.
Back in 2011, Kathy was spotted in Vegas with Jay-Z, Diddy, and some other people, but Beyonce was nowhere around, and they were in a relationship at the time. I also threatened Jay-Z and told Jay-Z, well, if you don't give me said amount of money, I'm going to tell the world that we are messing around, and I'm going to announce it. Now, Jay-Z could not have this because Beyonce was pregnant with Blue Ivy at the time.
Perhaps the saddest thing in this entire story is that Kathy White was a real person with a real family, friends, and a career, and what seemed like a bright future ahead of her. She was clearly an intelligent and confident young woman who had graduated from an esteemed university and created a seemingly successful life for herself in the world of entertainment in Los Angeles, where most people attempting the same thing will likely fail. She made it, as well as later also seemingly succeeding in New York. Yet all that seems to be left of her now is the rumor of her being Jay-Z's alleged mistress.
So it looks like those old rumors about Jay-Z's alleged mistress Kathy White and her mysterious death are back in the limelight. And this time, popular YouTuber, travel Trap Lore Ross has decided to dig deep into the story, uncovering some seriously chilling details. But here's the real kicker. Word on the street is that Trap Lore might have put himself in hot water by diving into Kathy White's story. Fans are seriously on edge, worried that Jay-Z might pull some strings, not necessarily to come after Trap Lore physically, but maybe to take down his channel. On the flip side, some folks are speculating that Trap Lore's bold move could mean something major is about to come out about Jay-Z this year. So what exactly did Trap Lore Ross uncover about Kathy White's death? And is he really getting threats now? Let's find out.
It's just like a lot of internet haters. At the same time, like, I do move cautiously. I don't do anything dumb that I would think would catch me slipping. From prison, by promising to hire him to his clothing brand Rockaware for a steady employment, might have been the person that had something to do with Kathy's death, with one article explaining how Jay-Z had contacted the judge to get Jones out of a 16-year prison sentence 37 months early with a promise of a 50,000-year job at Jay-Z's company. Jasper, on the other hand, was only getting started and would soon come out with yet another post, this time doubling down on the claim that the mainstream media was preparing to take Jay-Z down, as well as discussing another long-held rumor that Jay-Z had already had a child with a woman from the Caribbean who he had paid to stay silent. He would also provide a quote from the tabloid who had contacted him, with the journalist allegedly telling him that all of Kathy's friends, except Claudia, had indeed admitted that she had been in a relationship with Jay-Z, with the quote then ending with a casual question that you wouldn't expect to see in professional journalism: Jackie, do you know if Jay practices Satanism? The foul play angle was also gaining more popularity amongst the users of forums like the Lipstick Alley, with salacious posts suggesting that the aneurysm was used as a cover for the real cause of death, and a wild claim that Kathy had the same ring as Beyonce and that Jay-Z had bought a condo in New York City for a mystery woman, while other posters had their cake and ate it too, claiming that aneurysm-induced deaths have been used to cover up murders for years, also saying that Jay-Z is way too soft to be catching bodies. At this point, only days after Kathy's untimely death, the writing was already on the wall, with the internet clearly becoming increasingly convinced there had been foul play and somehow Jay-Z had been involved. But interestingly, if Kathy's old online obituary that's still accessible via the Wayback Machine is to be believed, even an investigative journalist from the New York Post would try to get in contact with her family in the weeks following her death. Although this might just as well have been an online sleuth trying to fish more information whilst pretending to be an actual journalist, nevertheless, despite Jasper's claims that a major tabloid was looking into Kathy and Jay's relationship and were about to go public in a major way, with even a possible New York Post journalist attempting to get in contact with Kathy's family to look into the death, in the months and years following her passing, no major articles would ever come out, and the story would only stay alive in the gossip and conspiracy forums in the blogosphere. At times, this story has gained more momentum, like in 2016 when Kanye West would do the infamous speech on stage in Sacramento where he would claim that Jay-Z had killers. The rumors were eventually also dug up by content creators on platforms like YouTube and TikTok coming into the late 2010s and early 2020s. However, in late 2023, the case would suddenly get a huge new boost, as another hip-hop mogul ended up getting in hot water, with the implication being that if he went down, he'd be taking Jay-Z with him. As mentioned at the beginning of the video, as P. Diddy's dark escapades begun truly hitting the internet with force in late 2023, following the explosive lawsuit by his ex Cassie, these rumors and allegations would eventually begin to affect also those people close to him, particularly Jay-Z. One of the people going hardest against Jay-Z was none other than one of his toughest competitors during the 2000s and one of the hardest trolls to appear from New York's rap scene, 50 Cent, who would begin to post on social media following Diddy's downfall about how Jay-Z was nowhere to be found when his supposed friend needed support, with 50 Cent clowning Jay-Z with a post showing Jay-Z's picture as a missing poster on a milk carton and a caption saying, "Diddy says Jay isn't answering his phone." And there's another post showing an unflattering picture of Jay-Z's iconic lips, along with a caption saying Jay is in hibernation. He's not coming out the house until the situation with Diddy blows over, as well as seemingly referencing the cancellation of Jay-Z's infamous Rock Nation brunch, with perhaps the subliminal implication being that Jay-Z was also afraid of his own skeletons coming out next. Meanwhile, as mentioned at the beginning of the video, the singer Jaguar Wright, who used to work with Jay-Z for a moment as a backup singer in the 2000s, was now all over the internet attacking Jay, with her undeniably entertaining interviews where she would claim to expose all kinds of dark secrets about her former colleagues, which ultimately gained millions of views.
You want to know what makes Diddy being publicly shamed like this so left?
What's that?
Sean Carter is worse.
Uh-oh. Oh, man.
Sean Carter is just as bad as the diddler. And I know that for a fact. I got the scars to prove it.
So, there's been so many people on the internet trying to figure out where you are. They're watching you. They're
You know, they're doing all types of stuff trying to figure you
You
out.
wanna know what a box cutter feels like going into your skin and ripping you? I can tell you how it feels. Y'all ain't seen shit yet. That Cassie shit, that's nothing.
So are you trying to say like Jay-Z put hands on you?
I'm saying Sean Carter remembers everything he did to me and he's got it on tape. Just like Diddy.
On tape, though.
And it's gonna be crazy. It's gonna be the women that get them in the end.
So you say that that
Jay-Z! And I think it's time for him to start speaking up about his very good friend. Just 9 months ago, you were singing his praises. All that he's done for the culture. And how you gotta be crazy like Diddy to make it. You didn't want to sit next to him at the Grammys. Told everybody that he had cooties. And canceled the Rock Nation brunch. Which is your favorite event? Because that's how you line up who you gonna move around next year. Like y'all did with Clarence Avon. I'm gonna get you. And I told you I would. And I'm gonna keep my word. And you're gonna pay me in full.
In one such interview with the Real Life Productions channel, Wright would even go on to claim that Kathy had been murdered by a woman and that Diddy had a video of the murder.
Last question. I asked you to do this earlier, but I just want you to do it even more, go detailed. What do you predict will happen next in the future? You know, it's like you see it before it happens.
Kathy White's true killer is going to be unveiled, and it's not a man. And that woman died screaming. Show him the tape, Diddy, you got it. That might buy you a little time. You should probably stop looking for plastic surgeons. Looking for a new life, new face.
But Wright wasn't the only one coming out with some very serious allegations, because in March 2024, a journalist named Liz Crokin would come out claiming that she had been in contact with Kathy in the weeks leading up to her death, whilst working for the major tabloid Star magazine. Pretty much exactly like Jackie Jasper had claimed only days after Kathy's passing in 2011, and that Kathy had first denied ever hanging out with Jay-Z. After the journalist confronted her with the photos from that night in Vegas, she would eventually imply that she was ready to go public with her relationship with Jay. And in her 2024 Substack article titled Jay-Z, Murder and the Mistress, the journalist would also claim that following Kathy's death, she would hear from sources that Kathy had told Jay she had planned to go public about their relationship, and that she had...
Okay, we got some big news coming out of the Middle East right now, specifically the Red Sea region. Let me run this all by you. First point, very important, Saudi Arabia has officially stated that Iran cannot use their airspace in any sense whatsoever for an attack on Israel. They will use their own means to destroy whatever flies over their airspace. Second, and very important, the country of Egypt has now announced they will not be defending Israel in any capacity. Israel will be left on their own to whatever Iran wants to do. Now stick with me, I got something else for you. Now there's a big indicator that this means the attack will most likely come from Yemen up the Red Sea and try to hit Israel if there's going to be some sort of big retaliation from Iran. But check this out. The reason why I'm pointing this out is because you had a major shift with the USS Laboon and the USS Cole destroyers who have now shifted into the Red Sea, most likely to prevent some sort of strike or attack, once again, from Yemeni territory up that narrow corridor up through the Red Sea. But again, a lot of speculation. Nonetheless, a lot of people are still speculating something big will happen.
So many earthquakes. It's crazy.
I have no knowledge of how the spirit itself happened to be in the place where I found it. As I've stated previously, when I found it, it was on top of the ground. It was not embedded. I saw no charred marks, no big indentations in the ground. In fact, it looks as if someone had taken it and set it in the spot. But as to how it got there, I, nor anyone else I know, has any knowledge of this.
Off the table, as I understand it, it moves around the table, won't fall off the edge.
I'd like Dr. Harder, who's our scientific expert, to say more about that.
Yeah, but visually,
yeah,
it
that
comes up as the fact that, you will make them think.
On the fucking mural they got. They talk about the North America, they put it right in people's face.
Future North America. Oh snap! Look at that. Dang.
Okay, I'm going to try and proceed with this very calmly here, but this is a big one. This is probably the biggest video I'm probably going to do. Stephen Greer, Dr. Stephen Greer, has just released all of the information regarding everything that he said him and his colleagues are doing at Disclosure Project on his website, DPIarchive.com. Now, before I say any of this, I strongly suggest for any of you that are interested in learning more about this, who have been following me for a while on all things related to the UFO topic, to get your rear end on here and sign up as quickly as possible before this shit gets taken down. Because the shit I'm looking at right now, this is what catastrophic disclosure looks like. If any of this is real, I can't believe what I'm reading here. This is, I've looked through some of the documents already. By the way, kudos to UFOs around the world. Thank you very much for tagging me in this. I've had a read through a few of the documents. If it's fake, it's a bloody good fake. But a lot of the military classified documents in this archive appear to be legitimate on first glance. I need to do a lot more digging. But as far as I'm concerned, if I'm Christian Harloff, which I'll tag you in this video, if I am Ross Coulthard, if I am anyone, I don't know, God, Jesus, I can't even remember names right now. This is so shocking to read. George Knapp, I'll be like this, I'll be all over this like flies on shit. This is what catastrophic disclosure looks like. Everything that he's been talking about is on here. Everything. The videos on here I've never seen before. They've got all the UFO witnesses and whistleblowers subcategorized by country and region. It's all here. Apparently, according to UFOs around the world, this was dumped recently. So I don't know how recently this has been dumped, but I strongly recommend for anybody to get who works on the journalistic side of this to get on here, because this is what you call a Hail Mary. You want irrefutable proof? It's all right here. So this video is more to spread the word on this. You need to go to dpiarchive.com, sign up with an account, go to archive. It's all here. It's all here. UFO-related secret facilities and all their related information, major historical UFO case files, UFO crash retrieval programs, UFO science and technology, UFO-related government documents that's labeled top secret here. Reports, briefings, white papers by Dr. Stephen Greer, illegal government UFO false flag, UFO videos and photos. I've been looking through that. That shit is just mind-blowing. I've never seen any of these videos before. I've seen some stuff online, but I haven't seen some of these. So very, very interesting. UFOs in media, corruption and more, black budget operations, and obviously CE5, which I know a little bit about, but yeah, that's primarily more to do with collective consciousness, which is a whole nother kettle of fish. But for the most point, if I was a journalist and I saw this is a Hail Mary. Ross Coulthard, this is a Hail Mary. If you want more information, and I'm sure he's got plenty, but if you want it all, it's all here. This is what catastrophic disclosure is going to look like. I mean, the size of the kahunas on this man for doing this, kudos to you, sir. Well done. I mean, look at all these people. Look at, okay, France, for example. Let me just click on this. See what comes up. It's still loading. Hang on a minute. Wow. Okay. Email chains, dates, names, everything. It's all here. There's got to be more than 100 whistleblowers here. There's way more. And this is just France. There's like 4 or 5 other countries. Wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. There's 11 countries on here. Sorry, 12. Wow. That's, yeah. Enough said, guys. Get on DPIarchive.com immediately. Download what you have to download, because I don't think this is going to be live for very long. I'm pretty sure the Office of Global Access will get hold of this, get rid of this very quickly, or worse, Arrow, and try and shut this shit down. This is witness list. There's a witness list. Oh my God. Game over. This is the Hail Mary we've been looking for. Oh my God, the name. Wow. Yeah. I'm done. I need to read through this. I need to read through all of this before it goes. I've given you guys the website. Log on, sign up, have a look for yourself. We need to get people on this. We need to get everyone on this to look at this. This is mad. If this is real, it's game over. It's game over. It's game over for the gatekeepers, for sure. Sweet Jesus.
Yo, I really thought he was going to show us what he was talking about right there, man. And honestly, I'm kind of nervous to go to DPI Archive whatever it was, because what if it's a scam? Like, what if you go on there and now you got malware or something? I'm about to look it up on my phone. Let's see. DPIarchive.com. You got to sign up. Bro. I don't know if I'm signing up for that, but if anyone else has ever been on DPI Archive, man, send me them videos, send me whatever he was talking about, man, because I want to know exactly what's going on.
You want to hear something interesting?
Yep.
If you want to know whether or not a person has like schizophrenia or some other type of delusional disorder or psychosis, smell their underarms. I'm not going to advise you to put your face near other parts, right? But yeah, smell their underarms, even after washing, wearing deodorant, whatever. Thing about people with schizophrenia, delusional disorders, and other things like that, there is an unmistakable and never-changing body odor.
Okay, just give me a second.
A few moments later.
Oh my God, people, she was right. And I never knew this. Probably because I'm not a psychiatrist, but wow. And it's been around from like 1960s. Shit.
Y'all, the commentator just said it has been illegal for the last 100 years for anyone to swim in this river. And a few days ago, no one was allowed in it because of the level of pollution. And now they're having the Olympics in it?
Yeah, that's a little strange, isn't it? I'm good.
Do you know that your life can be at risk if you're not following this one precaution, especially when you're eating chia seeds? I know that chia seeds have become like super popular in the recent times, and I know that most of you are eating it on a daily basis. Yes, it has a lot of health benefits, but it should not be eaten raw. Like, you cannot pop in some chia seeds and drink some water and think everything is going to be fine. No, you should always soak chia seeds in water or in any liquid for 1 to 2 hours before consuming it. This is because chia seeds can absorb water 27 times its weight. So what will happen is, if you're just going to pop in some chia seeds, or if you're going to eat them raw, then what's going to happen is it's going to stick on the walls of your esophagus, and whenever you're drinking water or eating some food, it's going to absorb all the water and it's going to expand in your throat, which is totally not safe, and it's very harmful. And there has been a recent case where a man had eaten raw chia seeds and it had gotten stuck in the throat, and it was a major critical condition he was in, and the doctor had to take everything out. So please eat your chia seeds only after soaking them in water or any liquid for at least 1 to 2 hours. I hope this helps.
Hey guys, so it is time for a video because I have received messages from over a dozen people involved with the current Beast Games. For those of you who don't know, Beast Games is a competition show ran by Mr. Beast that will be on Amazon Prime. It is being marketed as the biggest competition show ever. I'll talk more about that later. On to the messages. So the messages that I have received from contestants on the show are pretty much all telling a similar story, and I find them to be very disturbing. Some of the messages are from people who have competed and they've been eliminated. Some of the messages are from people who are still competing, and some of them are from people that I personally know who are involved on the show and still doing so. These people are genuinely upset about how things are going. They're scared for not only their own safety, but the safety of their friends who are still competing. They aren't doing this out of spite. They're doing this because they are afraid for themselves and for their friends. As of right now, I have 10 stories from 10 different people, and none of them have shared their stories with each other, and I will be talking more about them in the future. I have personally worked in entertainment and on sets for almost 2 decades, and what is going on here is beyond disgusting and extremely dangerous. I wanted to read you one of the messages with the permission of one of the contestants to give you an idea of why I'm so upset and why I simply just can't let this go. It's absolutely not okay. So I'm going to read to you her message. I was a contestant until the end. I also didn't accept their hush money. It was really bad. People were having seizures because they were not getting medication, even though we were promised we would. And it was 100% rigged. They presented it as though the game would be like Squid Games, basically a type of game show where all the games are an even playing field. That was not at all the case. All the games were about speed and strength, so only the young athletic males were at an advantage over the women, and elderly people were also casted. To make things worse, men started realizing that they could take out the women without being eliminated. Guys started tackling and hitting women. 2 girls were tackled and passed out on the field and were dragged off to continue filming. I saw people with broken bones, stitches, etc., and most were women. We were given maybe 400 calories a meal and only fed every 12 hours. Food would run out and people would fight over, steal, and hoard food. Water was scarce and kept running out as well. I had to sit with a bloody pad for 2 days before I could get undergarments and my reusable pads because I'm allergic to regular pads. We were also sleep deprived, only allowed 3 to 4 hours. We all slept on the floor in the stadium in a $10 sleeping bag. I get that people saying it's a game show and it's not meant to be easy. I'm not saying it should be easy, but it was presented like Squid Games, where competitions were not biased and didn't exclusively cater to young athletic men. People who went signed up for Squid Games, not for American Ninja Warrior and Survivor. Why else would they cast elderly people on the show?
Right.
They offered anyone who lost $1,000 to sign away their rights to join any kind of class action lawsuit of any kind. I didn't sign, so I didn't get the money. After this article came out and things started blowing up, they called everyone back and decided to offer an additional $1,000 per person to make up for any of the inconveniences. They knew it was bad because they also offered to provide therapy through their insurance, and it wasn't Amazon Prime that called me, it was Mr. Beast's crew. We were set up to fail, and when the men started tackling people to get them out, nothing was done about it. They were not even eliminated. The game that had to do with the briefcase, it felt literally like Hunger Games. While Mr. Beast is standing on his podium, looking down, watching all of us peasants fight for a chance at 5 million. I know it's a game show, and I know it's not meant to be easy, but even with a waiver, it is a company's responsibility to have safety protocols in place to try to prevent injuries. That is not what was happening here. The fact that the nurses at the hospital in Las Vegas are also confirming all of the injuries that happened is proof. They did not have to sign an NDA. And 5 of us so far have tested positive for COVID. Also, someone was allowed to go in with pink eye, which of course is also contagious. Now, this contestant has shared even more details with me, and I'll keep you updated. I have even more statements to come. And just as someone who has worked in entertainment and on sets, huge professional sets for years, I've seen people being treated different ways, but this is absolutely unacceptable.
That is wild.
Hey, what? I haven't even slept yet, but here we are. So they've unlocked consciousness, and it connects to the entire universe, they say. It's just a simple quantum wave that can interact with everything that's ever existed. Casual. This article starts by saying there's no universally accepted scientific explanation of where consciousness comes from or where it lives. However, there's new work building off of a 1990s theory that consciousness is a quantum process facilitated by microtubules in the brain's nerve cells. So almost like those are the channels that it's streamed through. So this theory has it that consciousness as a wave function will go through these microtubules, and just like every quantum wave, it has properties like superposition and entanglement. Superposition is the ability to be in many places at the same time, and entanglement is the potential for two particles that are very far away to be connected, which was proven by the 2022 Nobel Prize. It's asserted that this is possible because of a fractal pattern occurring in our universe. Sacred geometry, the golden ratio, Fibonacci spiral, and basically when you have a heightened state of consciousness, your consciousness can entangle with quantum particles outside of your brain anywhere in the universe, theoretically. Initially, they thought it was only possible that this could occur under certain conditions, not possible in a brain, except quantum biology is actually proving this to be not the case. Here are the details of the study, and basically the results are that they lasted thousands of times longer than the expected coherence and more than long enough to perform the biological functions required to prove this theory. Findings published in the journal at the bottom. That's a lot to digest, but it roughly means we're stuck in a lane or route of a cosmic fractal shape that is shared by other realities, which are also stuck in their trajectories, meaning like we can't cross paths. It's asserted that when we ponder what-if scenarios, we're actually getting information about versions of ourselves in other universes who are also navigating this same type of track. We're all connected to the greater universe, which is how this is all possible, allegedly. Sounds a lot like the collective consciousness, or what we describe as God. I know this is something that's been said in different words for millennia. I just love connecting science and spirituality, so I hope you guys enjoy. Let me know your thoughts in the comments, and like and follow for more. Thanks, bye.
Go watch the show Dark Matter on Apple TV. It's got a lot to do with that superposition, and yeah, it kind of freak you out in all honesty. You know, like she said at the end, kind of relates to God at the end of the day, right? And what if this collective consciousness isn't through everybody on, you know, every different person, but between every different version of yourself? If you were able to collect all of the consciousness of all of the different versions of yourself, think of the type of person you would be. You'd be a master of yourself. And that right there would be the God in you. And as far as Mr. Beast goes, man, would y'all go on Mr. Beast games? I think Mr. Beast is a beast. Like, he's not a regular person anymore. You know, he's the top YouTuber, top guy, you know, in the limelight right now. And he's throwing these shows. There's got to be other people around him, you know. So I'm not going on Mr. Beast shows. You shouldn't either, and don't accept just $1,000 for hush money, because it might sound like a lot right then and there, but it's really not. But yeah, if you like the content, don't forget to subscribe, turn your notification bells on, and until next time, YouTube, peace.